It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Hey guys, well, that was a weird way of hello. For today's video, we're doing episode 14 of Create This Book. It's a fun book. I also have series on Wreck This Journal and Draw Your Journal. Wreck This Journal is basically what it sounds like. You like destroy it, and Draw Your Journal is a diary. I don't really have anything else to say about this. We know that this is Moriah Elizabeth's prompt journal. Let's get started. Okay, so here is my very thick Create This book. I've done a lot of pages in this so far, but I counted and I still have around 60 pages left. Up first, we're doing the page that says create a page for your favorite character. Last video, I did my first ever figurine makeover, and I am obsessed with my Lemon Poppy Dalmatian. I realized that this prompt technically says to draw your favorite cartoon character. I'm assuming a cartoon character from a TV show or maybe a comic book, but I decided to bend the rules a little bit and just use my own personal character that I created myself. I don't know why I show these sketches, because I erased them and it looks like I did nothing. Taking out my 3 different cups of Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, I've recently decided to organize them in cups. It works better for me than the tin they come in. We're starting off this drawing with the leaves. Lots and lots of leaves. They're just everywhere. If you guys follow my Create This Book series, you might know that my rule for my Create This Book is to incorporate my feelings into every single page. Over time, this has become quite a difficult rule to follow through on, but I am determined to still incorporate my feelings. For this page, I was obviously feeling excited about my Lemon Poppy Dalmatian character. When I first created my Lemon Poppy Dalmatian character, I thought to myself, surely I can't be the first person that thought of this idea. But I've been looking all over the internet, and I think I truly was the first person or one of the first people to make a character like this. I personally have not been able to find even one other drawing of a Lemon Poppy Dalmatian, so I have reason to believe that I was the first person to create a Lemon Poppy Dalmatian. As a result, I am feeling quite original. Like, wow, this is my own original character that no one else has really done before, and I'm really happy with it. And I wanted to document that feeling of originality on this page. Now that I've explained to you my feelings for this page, I'm going to move your attention back to the weird scene that I'm drawing on this page, because it's a bit odd. And I think it does warrant some explanations. This is a bit of a weird idea, but everyone hear me out. What if there were lemons that grew Lemon Poppy Dalmatians out of them? It's kind of like a baby nursery, I'm imagining, where we have little baby puppies and they're growing out of the lemons. Each of these puppies are at various stages of development. Some are smaller, some are bigger. They all have different moods. Some are very upset to have been born. Some have a sour face on. Others are sleeping. Others have just a derpy face. It really depends. I realize that this concept makes no sense and is very weird, but I will say that's kind of the reason that I like it. For me, the best kind of art is the kind of art that is just a little bit weird, where you look at it and you go, why is this happening? Why are Dalmatians growing out of lemons? And why is it so cute? I don't know. What is going on here? Poppy, it's you, but stronger. In general, I'm pretty happy with the way this page came out. I will say I'm not too sure about the way I did the lines with the stripes around it. It's like I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't. Let's move on to the next page. Up next, we're flipping to the page that says, create a page from the past. Attach something from the past here. Photos, documents, old drawings, etc. When I was younger, I used to really love Milky pens, which were basically just gel pens, but better. So I got myself some gel pens and also printed out this photo. I was definitely a bit older when I took this photo, but I still had my Milky pens from when I was in elementary school, and I used to draw on my hands with them. This is a photo example of some of the things that I used to love drawing with my Milky pens. I decided to dedicate this page to all of the doodles that I used to draw as a kid with my Milky pens. Since this page is from the past and I was a child when I was drawing with my Milky pens, a lot of these drawings are going to be very simplistic doodles. They're not very elaborate. These are doodles that a child could draw with a Milky pen on their hand, so they're not very complex. This is a lightning bolt. This is a diamond. Very simple, but also very cutesy, and they're definitely very 2000s because that is when I was in elementary school. As far as my rule goes for this page, I was definitely feeling very nostalgic while using these gel pens. It was reminding me of my Milky pens. And then I remembered the characters that I would always draw when I was in elementary school. They were like a weird combination between Kirby and Pikmin. They look like Kirby because they're blobs with giant feet, and they look like Pikmin because they have plants growing out of the top of their head. But I used to love these when I was a kid. I would draw them everywhere, all over my notebooks and my folders. I've definitely talked about these little blobs from my elementary school days in other episodes, but it just didn't feel right to have a page from the past without incorporating my little plant people from 3rd grade. I decided I wanted the background to be this purple color, so I did have to painstakingly paint the background by using a very small paintbrush and slowly paint in between all of the little doodles I had painted everywhere until the whole page was purple. When I was done, I took out my white pasta paint pen and I lost it. Literally lost it in my room. It somehow got like thrown somewhere. I had to use my Artistro white paint pen instead. It wasn't really that big of a deal because my white Posca paint pen was actually running out of paint, and my Artistro paint pen also is kind of like becoming watery. I don't really know. Either way, the white paint pens are just a mess for me. I need new ones. I used the black gel pen to outline all of these little doodles and characters. I felt like the white outline made everything disappear. Oh no, where are the characters? I can't see them. They need a black outline. I also added some white highlights and glimmers on each of the doodles so that they have an extra pop. And last but not least, to seal in everything that I've done, I used a matte decoupage. And here is what the final page turned out looking like. I realized that each of these doodles individually are very simplistic, but I kind of love it only because it reminds me of my childhood. It's very nostalgic for me. Each of these little cartoons are definitely something that remind me of the past, and that is why I love it. Let's move on to the next page, which is create an ink blot. Drop ink, paint, or any other colored fluid onto it. This is my Wreck This Journal, and there was a page about dripping, so my intention here is to not create another butterfly. I feel like with these kinds of pages where you're dripping or dropping paint onto the page and kind of just like making an ink blot, closing the page, my only goal for this was to not create another butterfly. But when I opened this page, I soon discovered it looked exactly like a butterfly. I honestly don't know how that happened. I literally was intentionally trying to not make a butterfly, and somehow I still made a butterfly. In psychology, I'm pretty positive in Inkblot, they like have you look at it and then they have you like comment on what it looks like, and it's supposed to like psychologically mean something. I'm not a psychologist and I know nothing about this, but I feel like it has to mean something that I looked at this ink blot and it looked like a butterfly. Maybe it just really looks like a butterfly, or maybe it's because I have a fear of butterflies. I don't know. Regardless of the reason for me feeling like this still looked like a butterfly, I was determined to not turn it into a butterfly. So I looked at it really hard and I said, what can I turn this into that is not a butterfly? And I saw it. It looks like 2 bouquets of roses. There's a big rose on top. Underneath we've got leaves. And then we've got smaller roses within the leaves. This relates to my feelings perfectly because, as most of you guys know, I am engaged and I'm getting married in the fall. And I'm going to be needing to decide on my bouquet designs. So I feel like this kind of relates to things that I'm going to have to be doing soon. Since this page is the ink blot page, I felt like it was important for the painting I was creating to be blots of paint. I definitely made this painting way more abstract than my typical things are. Usually I make things very clear, very cutesy, very cartoon-like, and this painting is definitely way more abstract, almost like an impressionistic painting, which is ironically actually one of my favorite types of paintings to look at in museums. I love impressionist paintings. I honestly had so much fun making this page, and I really love the result. I hope you guys like it, even though it's not in my typical art style that I do on my channel. And here are all 3 of the pages that I did for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see my other episodes of Create This Book, they are linked in one of these boxes. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!